I found out that I live in one of the world's most walkable cities. Forbes posted an article ranking the most walkable cities on the planet. When I opened it, I was ready to see lots of European cities, which is the case, since the list is dominated by the European capitals. Yet I wasn't ready to see my home country capital, Riga. Yet the capital of Latvia and my home city of Riga is on the second place on the list, following the Italian town of Florence. I thought that most of the people, especially those living in the US, had never heard about Riga, so I decided that it is a good reason to make a video about my beloved city. I think that people, including myself, tend not to appreciate what we have, so we all mostly tend to see the negative sides of the cities we were born in and are living in, since that is the narrative translated to us by the media. However, I think that there are lots of great things about each city which we as locals miss, since we are just too used to it. So let me tell you a little bit about the city of Riga. In order to come up with the list, authors analyzed various factors such as distance between the tourist attractions, air quality, and of course the safety indexes. The thing is that Riga is a relatively small city. Its area is about 307 square kilometers. For comparison, London is 1500 square kilometers big. Moreover, the old city of Riga is even more tiny, being just a little smaller than 1 square kilometer, so it was pretty easy for it to hit the box when it came to the distance between attractions. Everything is really close, and within 10 to 15 minutes walk distance. Another factor which probably made Riga move to the top of the list is that the population of the city is also not that huge. Officially, Riga has just 600,000 people living in it, which makes it not so crowded and more convenient for tourists. Riga is a medieval capital city set near the Baltic Sea, on the river Daugava. Initially, the city began to develop as a center of Viking trade during the early Middle Ages. Officially, city was founded in 1201 and is a former Hanseatic League member. Since 1990, Riga has been the capital of the independent state of Latvia. However, through the centuries, many countries such as Livonian Order, the Swedish Empire, the Russian Empire, and the Soviet Union had their historical affiliations with this city. Due to this fact, the city has lots of historical artifacts and heritage left by the aforementioned countries and is very vibrant in its architecture. Despite the population of the city not being too numerous, especially when compared to other capitals, it's important to remember that the population of Latvia is just 1.8 million people, so almost 1/3 of it lives in the capital. Therefore, Riga is a very important economic and cultural city of our country. The city is divided in 40 administrative districts. Most of these are residential areas that have Soviet-era buildings all over the place. These are the houses which most of the Riga residents call home. However, Riga also have an old city center as well as beautiful districts which have historical architecture, business centers, and much more. But enough with statistics, data, and nice words. Let's talk about what Riga is and how it is to live there. From this point in this video, I will divide it in two parts. First one will be about the Soviet-built neighborhoods, and the second one about the beautiful center of Riga. I was born and raised in houses like this. These were mostly built in the 70s and 80s by the Soviet Union. I understand that such housing may look pretty creepy for those of you who weren't born and raised in such neighborhoods. However, for me, those are very special. I lived in one of these houses for more than 20 years. My childhood was spent running in the entryways of these houses and playing on these playgrounds. Back then, those were full of kids and our parents were sitting on the benches watching us play. Here I was growing up and making friends. So those are a part of my childhood and will forever have a very special place in my heart. About 70% of the Latvian population live in the houses which were built in the Soviet Union times. Nowadays, typical characters living in these houses are the lower class workers, young families, and retirees. However, back when I was a child, absolutely most of the people were living in these houses due to the lack and high prices for the newly built apartments. So you could have seen lawyers, engineers, and businessmen living in apartments identical to the apartments of the blue-collar workers and babushkas. However, with the time, when more beautiful and nice housing became more affordable, most of the people who had higher income started to move out of the Soviet neighborhoods. I myself have moved out of these houses some time ago, and despite not living here anymore, I still very much love this neighborhood. These neighborhoods are very calm, and despite having some alcoholics and gopniks walking around, I would say that those neighborhoods are reasonably safe and convenient. For example, despite having rows of identical Soviet apartments, those also have small parks, playgrounds for kids, communal spaces, and lots of grocery stores and shopping centers. So pretty much everything which is necessary for a comfortable life. Additionally, often the there are parks and public spaces which may not look as great, but still those exist and provide an opportunity for the inhabitants to walk and socialize. The general city environment in such neighborhoods is being changed. New roads are being built and some old ones are being renovated. However, there are still lots and lots of things which need to be improved. For me, this is a very special place, which holds lots of childhood memories. However, when growing up, especially during my teenage years, I started to hate these Soviet houses. I thought that they were ugly and that I had to leave this place and live in a more beautiful one with a better overall environment and infrastructure. This actually happened. I moved away from my childhood neighborhood, but now when becoming an adult, I can say that it was foolish from my side to think like that. Those neighborhoods are great. There is nothing bad about it being built in such a brutalistic style, since there is some aesthetic in all this. Despite living in other places now, the vibe and feeling of belonging will stay in my heart forever when talking about such neighborhoods. The city center of Riga is completely different from already described Soviet-era neighborhoods. The most iconic areas of Riga are the Old Town as well as Art Nouveau district. Those represent different aspects of Riga's identity, medieval heritage and modern architectural expression. Here you will not see Soviet-era buildings, but beautifully well-designed old and new buildings, fancy cars and young people drinking their coffee. The world is a little bit different here than in the hoods. Riga's Old Town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is pretty much a living museum. Its narrow streets are home to medieval churches, historic guild houses and squares that have witnessed centuries of history. Just a short walk from the Old Town lies Riga Jugendstil district, which is one of the finest collection of Art Nouveau architecture in the world. This building possesses elaborate facades and creative details. Here most of the buildings are a work of art. I actually love these places. I love walking there, sitting in restaurants and just watching how the city lives. The surrounding parks and squares are the city's lungs, offering a peaceful retreat in the middle of town. Despite having some tourists and people walking around, I can't say that the city is crowded by any means. It's very medieval and peaceful, which is a very unique combination of qualities. There are lots of cozy cafes which have pretty affordable prices and nice walking paths which bring lots of opportunities to explore the city on foot. Riga's transportation network is the lifeblood of the city. Some of the transports are dating back to the 90s, but some are pretty new and modern. Riga has an extensive public transportation system. It offers residents and visitors a reliable way to navigate the city, with regular shuttles and well-connected roads. For pedestrians, the city offers expansive sidewalks and well-maintained public spaces, making it a pleasant city to explore on foot. Riga is trying to embrace smart city technologies, optimize traffic flow and enhance public safety, yet some new projects are taking too long to realize and actually build, which sometimes causes traffic jams and of course citizen dissatisfaction. However, I have to say that one thing which I noticed when talking to residents of different countries is that people are never happy with the countries and governments of the countries where they live. Mostly people see on the negative sides, and that is normal, since that is how our brain works. Despite me not being happy with lots of infrastructure related decisions taking place in Riga, I have to admit that the city is moving forward. There are lots of architectural projects which are currently in the stage of being built, lots of developing projects and plans, so hopefully soon Riga will become even more advanced and modern. To conclude all of that, I can say that Riga rightfully got its second place on the list of most walkable cities, and I am actually very happy about that. It's a great city for tourists since it provides pretty much everything which an average tourist wants to get from his travel. Cozy streets, delicious food and the possibility to see the whole city in a few days' time. However, if you are feeling adventurous, try to go and see the Soviet neighborhoods, which also is going to provide you with a memorable experience. This video is a tribute to my home city of Riga, which hopefully made you a little bit more interested in this place. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video, and of course make sure to join my Discord server, link is in the description, to discuss this video or any other videos of mine with me. And bye for now.